It's my pleasure today to present Krikle to you, which is, after this introduction, you can imagine, has been a lot of fun for us. It's been a really entertaining project, and it's been also a lot of hard work. But we're ready to pass the fun on to you. Now, we're quite the international team, and that's also reflected in our name, Krikle, which means to scribble in several different languages, and that's what we're all about. So in this room, all around you, there are actually messages. But you can't see them because we didn't leave them using graffiti, we didn't write them on the walls, and we didn't tape notes to the back of your chairs. We put them in this room using an iPhone app that we developed. And that's what Krikle is. It's messaging that is local, it's social, and it's happening in the real world. And to illustrate what that means, I'm going to show you a brief video clip. Now, you may be familiar with this place. Graffiti is typically considered vandalism, but not here, and people love it. They leave messages all over the place, and graffiti is really a good analogy for Krikle. It really describes what we're doing. You point your iPhone at a location, and you type a message, and that message is then retained at that location, and it's overlaid over the live camera view of your iPhone. Now, we retain the message wherever you leave it using GPS coordinates. So the next person, the next user who comes along, can again point their iPhone to their surroundings, and they can see what somebody else has written. And they now have the option to respond to that message. And so you're creating communication in the context of a location. Now, this is what you might see when you're holding up your phone and you're panning around Beale Street. Okay, so you see all these messages appearing from different directions. And again, you have the opportunity to interact with the messages. You could eventually tag friends with them. And one of the things that we're doing is that we're allowing people to log in through existing social media, so Facebook right now and others to come. And what that's going to allow us to do is, once the space around you gets crowded with messages from our thousands and hundreds of thousands of users, you're going to be able to filter through all that information, and the users are going to be able to say, okay, I only want to see what people within my network have been writing, or I want to see what is popular right now, or I want to see what's been written right here today. Okay, so this can not only be communication with kind of a time delay, but it can also be happening in real time, like here at this baseball game or at the mall. So our wonderful actress, August here, sees a discount offer. And we all know that discounts really entice customers when they feel very exclusive. And how more exclusive does an advertisement offer get than when you find it hidden in the virtual world? Now, these two, they're both 22-year-old college students, and they're about to finally meet up. They're actors. And so our little story has a happy ending here. And all right. So I think I've already described why people are going to love that. We're targeting an audience, roughly from college age to the mid-30s. And those are all people who are highly engaged today in social media. And so when we ask them what they like about it, the response is that it's a completely new way to interact with each other. The whole context of the real world tying into the communication is really exciting to people. When we talk about the market size, I've put 3 numbers up here because we don't see Krikle as just another iPhone app. It's really a niche social media outlet, and we're using the iPhone as a vehicle. But there's a lot of things going on in the background that are going to allow us to tie into other existing social media. So it's not just an iPhone app. And in terms of social media communications, you have 40 billion Twitter and Facebook updates annually. You have 380 million Foursquare check-ins. I'm still not sure why. And so there's a lot of stuff going on, and people are constantly looking for new ways to make use of social media. And now, finally, our target market, because we are building on the iPhone platform, is 8.5 million people in the US alone that are within our target age range. So how do we reach out to them? Well, first we have to continue to improve our product. We have to build the best possible product possible. And so we're going to be adding features and functionality to all this. But the first step is going to be grassroots promotions and then things like this. We're going to be, since we already have the Facebook login, we can easily feed back information back into the user's Facebook page. So you can leave a message somewhere, and an update will be fed into your page, and immediately your entire friend network sees that you're using Krikle. Games and contests. Talk about a great platform for scavenger hunts or other social and location-based games. So we think that we can really do some great promotions that way locally, and we're going to actually start doing this in Memphis. So the app was launched 2 days ago, so you feel free to download it and participate in any upcoming events. So that's a great thing that we can do, and that we can very easily take from Memphis to other cities. We're not going to have to go there to set it up. We can do that right here. And then the third thing, and there are other examples, but the third thing that I'm listing here is that we can very easily set up banner advertisement, within the iPhones, things like iAd or AdMob. And the beauty about digital marketing is that all of this is, for one thing, very trackable, and then most of it is very scalable. So what that means is that we can, when we have marketing spend and we have a marketing campaign running, we're going to be able to know, okay, how many active users did this generate where? And from that, we can determine the cost per new user that we acquire. Okay, so once we have good user retention, we can really figure out how much money do we want to spend on a marketing campaign, and how much money do we want to spend to acquire a new user. So when we then look at the value of that user, it is easy to figure out when to turn on these marketing channels and profit from it. And how do we profit? Well, we're going to offer unique advertising opportunities to businesses. It's really an entertaining way and also youthful way to reach out to audiences. And it's a way for businesses to promote their young brand and to conduct some really highly targeted advertisement. When you look at similar business models, one thing that stands out here is that the level of engagement of users is the key to success and to a higher per user per year revenue. Something like Foursquare, there's frequent but short interactions with the users, about 70 cents per user per year. Facebook has about $3.10 per user per year. They have a lot more user interaction, but still the advertising or the revenue model is not nearly as successful as what Google is doing. Now, we don't see ourselves in the same category as Google. We're going to start out with simple banner ads, and we're estimating about 30 cents per user per year during that stage. But then when we move into more highly targeted advertisement campaigns and target national brands, such as Dave & Buster's, TGI Fridays, Buffalo Wild Wings, Target, Best Buy, Trader Joe's. Those are some examples of youthful brands that may want to promote themselves this way. And we believe that we can achieve about $2 per user per year that way. And another stream of revenue that we're thinking about is that we can offer businesses and also museums, visitors bureaus, to create their own space within the app. So essentially, what that means would be a city walking tour right here in Memphis. You could use our app to hide information or display information about the city. And there's a lot of things that you can do that way, for businesses and organizations to promote themselves and get people interested. In terms of the competitive landscape, we think we're combining the social component, the location-based component, and then this augmented reality component that Alex alluded to in a very efficient way. Those are all very hot fields to be in, and augmented reality is kind of still a novelty, and that what it means is the overlay of information on the live camera view of your phone. So some of you may be familiar with the stargazing app, where you take your phone, you point it towards the sky, and it shows you the star formations. That's augmented reality, and we think that we're combining all these three components in a very unique way. So in terms of our timeline, our goal, our biggest goal is to have a version of Krikle that has all the different components and added features that will give us that user retention that we're looking at, the user engagement. And from there, we think that with adequate marketing spend, we can achieve 100,000 users and upwards of that from there on. So our main goal is to have 10,000 users in the second version by the end of the year, and 100,000 users half a year after that. And what's required for that is, obviously, we're going to need to work a lot more on the development. So employee cost for 18 months of about $300,000. That includes some consulting work and design work. And then the marketing spend, the money that we need to really promote the app once we have come out with the advanced version, and then operating costs. But with all that, given the numbers that I showed previously, we think that we could be cash flow positive by the third quarter of 2012. Now, I have a really great team to work with, and I want to acknowledge them. They're right over there. We got Jens, who is a user interface expert at a Fortune 500 company. Angela Copeland, who is a vice president of digital strategy at a major regional bank. And then Cal and Sai are fantastic senior level developers, also at a Fortune 500 company in Memphis. And with that setup, I think we have everything that we need to move forward and make the best out of Krikle. And last, I'd just like to acknowledge our mentors who have been absolutely wonderful, Alex, Andrew, and John. And I'd also like to thank Eric and the Seed Hatcher team and Vic for all their help and support. And that's it, and I'll be glad to answer any questions later. Thank you.